Yo, what's up, guys? Hold up one sec. There we go. Don't disconnect on me. There we go. Alright, let me hit up Aalaizah real quick. There we go. Are we in here? Yeah.
What up?
Hey, Aalaizah. Alright. So how you guys doing today? We're gonna try and teach this game a little bit.
Let's do it!
First, before we do anything, I just want to see if I can even do this opening screen still. That is first and foremost, to see if I could still play the game. This has been like, what, a month at this point? You know, it's actually kind of crazy that
Something
I find
like
about
that.
this.
Somebody's been playing Spyro too much.
Oh, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine. Okay. Good. Alright. So, before I do anything, let me just get this all good. Alright. So, let's just watch the first minute of this gameplay real quick.
3, 2, 1.
Let's do it!
Keep double checking that analog.
Good old Domino.
Well, that was not a great start to this area. Ow. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Alright. So, actually, I'd say the second half of that went significantly better than the first half. I'm sure you'd probably agree, right?
Let's do it!
It did indeed.
But so I feel like you've actually changed up how you do that since then, right? Or do you kind of just feel like you do that beginning section, the whole assimilation, the same way?
I see the assimilation the same way for the most part. I just managed to jump into the plant instead of jumping past it.
Right. Yeah, so actually, the interesting thing about this is that I feel like most speedruns, it's kind of like, at the very beginning, you're like, oh, this is nice and easy, because it's the beginning of the game. It's always supposed to be easy. But this opening section is actually really tight. And so the way I like to do it is kind of like you had started to do where you went for this first guy, right? And so the thing about this entire area, and in fact, I'm just gonna throw all these guys out of the way for right now. As much as I can. Oh, of course. Unfortunately, this is such a large area that some of them respawn. But anyways, so the thing that makes this so tricky is the 3 little hills with the coins. Now this is something that is just going to take a lot of practice, but what you kind of want to do is you definitely don't want to run up the hill. You want to try to jump on top of the hill, and then as you land, you want to use the slope downwards, as that's going to speed you up right here. And then as you're reaching the bottom, you want to jump onto the next one. You're going to use that slope again, and then use the last slope. Now, the trickiest part about doing all this... Hang on,
Oh, okay.
let me try and make everything respawn. Oh. Hang on one sec. It's almost like the whole thing where you're patting the top of your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time, is you kind of have to do 2 things at once, in that you have to get this assimilation off and start mashing, but also start doing other inputs at the same time. So the way, when I first was working on this, The way I like to practice it is, hang on, let me head back, is you're going to want to just assimilate the guy at the beginning and just try to path it down without actually mashing the square button, just to see if you can find your overall path that you want without adding that extra layer. And then once you've gotten that figured out over time, you can add in the mashing. Runs up every hill. Listen, alright, I can explain things, I can't demonstrate it. And then, I thought this rest of the area was pretty good. Just general things that I'm sure you already know, you know, jump up as many hills as you can, walk down as many hills as you can. There was a couple instances, though, that I was noticing. You want to try and run in as straight of a line as you possibly can. There was a few sections where I noticed every once in a while you'd slightly go up and then you'd have to like recorrect your direction. And like, it's small things like that that don't seem like you'll waste a lot of time. But if you could just keep that perfect line, you're going to save time that you didn't even know you had. So I'm going to create a save state there.
Yeah.
Shooting the statue late. Hang on, let me rewatch that. Maybe I missed that. Oh, yes, that is a good point. Okay. So, you'll notice here. Hang on. As soon as you land here in front of the statue, you immediately want to hold circle so that way you can start gunshotting. Because you'll notice that because you got so close to it, you had to wait that extra split second to get by the last one because it took too long to get destroyed. So yeah, you'll want to hold circle as soon as you land on the top of that hill. Now let's check out this next area. And just as a heads up, let me back up just to see. So this area on the fade out, this first section, a good time to shoot for is about a minute right here. So yeah, there's about 8 seconds there at the beginning, and I'd say it's mostly from assimilation. Under a minute's good though. Okay, that's good. There's a slight turn there, but that's okay. It was a good positioning. That's what's most important.
Whoops,
oh, and then I think you just forgot there. Do you have visual cues for these gunshotted statues, or do you just kind of wing it?
Yeah, no, I use the dark piles.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so you just you probably just lost your train of thought there. And I know this run is also a month old, so I know you've gotten slightly better since then. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah, that entire section was fine.
Yo, P-Man, what's up? I thought you were going to your brother's or something for...
Oh man, this is deja vu.
Ow.
Alright, I'd say, yeah, profit. I said that section was pretty fine. You know, just practice. That's really it. Seems pretty tight to me. Alright, good hugging of the pole, I'd say. Actually, so I need to catch up to you first. So let me do that real quick. I'd say you could hug the pole a little bit closer, and also where you jump up. You can jump a little bit closer to the coin. It's something that you kind of just have to practice as far as like experimenting where the sweet spot is, because you don't want to go too high and then miss it completely. But from where you were, it was pretty shallow. You can probably save a few seconds just by being a little bit closer. just despawn everything, I guess. Holy shit, dude. Okay. Well, let's get a save state right here. About to tell this user to fuck off for being an idiot. We love those. Alright. So yeah, this spot actually is pretty disputed, I think. I feel like most of the newer runners, I think Zach does this too, goes to the right, like you did. But I remember some of the old runners actually going to the left. I don't know if anyone has actually proven or disproven which route is faster. But yeah, it's around, so let's say there's the 2 coins, right? And you take the distance between the 2 coins. The distance you can actually jump up here is about the same distance between those 2 coins. So like right around here, I'd say. Whereas if we look at the video, you'll notice you're a bit lower. Yeah, Barris was the one that went to the left. Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah, can you actually see? Yes, you can see my mouse. Okay, good. Hang on.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
So, you're coming up right here, when realistically you could have just come this way and jumped right around here. But anyways, let's keep going. Of course, you want to grab these 2 coins. You want to make as much money as you can here as possible in the shortest amount of time. Hang on. So because you're going in a spiral, also, something I'm noticing, hang on, is you kind of want to hug the inside curve as you're going up. So, because you can't fall off this no matter what. So what you want to do is, so this is something I've actually also theory crafted. I don't know which is actually faster. You can either just get as close to this edge and hold right, or I feel like also you can almost do it diagonally like this, but slightly to the right as well. It's kind of, well, actually you can see my inputs on the screen, so I tend to go for this rather than the directly right. I don't actually know which one's faster. Maybe Zach knows a little bit about that. But yeah, kind of like this angle is what I look for. So let's see from that point on. Yeah, you'll notice you're more like in the middle of the path here. They look the same. Yeah, they look the same to me too, so I wasn't really sure. You're fine with that text box.
Well, I hope he is feeling better soon. Can I get some more money here, Bats? Go away.
Oh, that was weird. Did that bat get thrown at?
Some more money though. No. Okay.
Oh, this explains a lot as far as because I think your split said you had like a 9-minute Steam night, right?
Let me come shoot my skeleton
Oh,
down.
we'll find out in a moment. Yo, what's up, Philip?
There we go. Hey, Sid Widow. My day's going pretty good. How about yours?
Yeah, this is 9-minute material. Yeah, there's a lot of time lost from that section right there. Hang on, we'll see in a moment. Yo, lurk away, buddy.
Talking about me
I appreciate you.
Having good communication skills because I was asking the bats nicely for
Let's
things.
see.
Because they don't actually listen. I'm normally getting the getting Lumina about this. I don't know why I asked them.
So around 428.
Hey, come back here. Nope.
Yeah, I could turn down the bottle a little bit.
Here. Why do y'all hate me? Thank you.
Yeah, so that section right there.
Yeah.
Pause. Okay. So this at this exact point you want to shoot for around 4 minutes. You can get like, I think the best I've seen at this point is probably like a 3:52. I consider anything below 4 to be like good enough material to keep going at this point. So in that early section, you've lost about 46 seconds. So you probably have about 45 more to go on Steam Night as well from this point all the way to the end. As far as like what I could tell you, not a whole lot actually. Hang on, let me rewind this real quick too.
I don't know why I asked them nicely.
So you actually got good RNG there as far as the soldier trying to attack you. That could be a little bit tough. So
nice for things, because they don't actually listen.
Hang on one sec. So when you get out of the text box, you should try to shoot straight for this curve here. But if you try to shoot for it too tight, I've noticed, and I feel like Proto had this problem at one point, it'll actually give you an RNG where the soldiers won't spawn at a point that's really to your benefit because they won't notice you for quite some time. But
I don't know why I asked
as far as the pressure plate goes, that's just something that you kind of have to just practice.
Nope.
So let's get this caught up real quick. Run, continue. So yeah, when you're up against this wall, you can just stay here. And whenever the soldiers like lean up, you just kind of like sidestep them like this, one of these. And you should be able to get around them with relative ease. And then, so, something I did leave out. When you're starting to get close towards the bell, the visual cue I use is this rope and this chain rope that are next to each other. When you get to that point, you're going to want to stop jumping so much. And you want to try to hit right around the middle, actually. So you want to actually come back from the inside and, like, land right in the middle. Because what happens is when you hit the cutscene wall, Musashi starts to walk. So you want to be as close to where his walking location is as possible. I'm not going to worry about money because I could just inject money into the game later. Okay. Fast forward through all this good stuff. Okay. And I'll try to show you what I was talking about, hugging that curve. So if you hug it too close, you'll notice he's all the way over there. Oh. Did I not save it? Hang on one sec. No. Oh, I guess I missed that save state. Hang on.
Hey, you! You one of those dumb thieves!
What's that?
Dumb?
Right here? Yeah, okay. Thought I made a save state. Must have clicked the wrong button. At this point, let's just go like this. Good enough. We don't need HP anyways. Okay. Now it should be good, right? Yeah, there we go. So if you kind of like, there we go. See how he's like right there? Rather than if I hug it directly, he's on the other half. So if I hold like straight up, actually, I don't know. RNG doesn't make sense. It's just something to fiddle around with. Okay. So let's go back to this.
Come here. Why do y'all hate me? Thank you. Oh, your brother. Yeah. Those sound like the best.
And we'll skip over this section because this section is not important.
Parents last summer.
Okay.
And my dog is whining.
So this fight, actually, I'd say is pretty tough. Let's see how you do. Alright, you get both legs. Perfect phase one.
No, go to bed, Domino.
So you'll notice here is another example. and I'm going to bring this up a whole lot, is you kind of have to find specific angles in each of these rooms that are going to come up, because you'll notice as you kill him...
No, go to bed, Domino.
You'll run slightly to the side, and then you have to correct which direction.
Yeah, I wiggle about a little.
Exactly. And you want to do as little wiggling as possible.
Oh my gosh. Dang it.
So I can relate to this phase 2, because my phase 2s usually suck. But there's a few things we can talk about what you can do.
Everything's fine.
But hang on, let's just watch phase 3 real quick.
Get all my bad luck out of the run now so that I have some good luck later.
I'll fast forward through this, essentially a cutscene.
Okay.
Oh wait, what happened here? Wait, what? Was it just... Hang on one sec. Was that just super late?
Dead.
Yeah, okay. That's why.
Yeah. Something I've been practicing because I can't get it.
Right.
What the heck?
Wait, did you jump slash and that was just super unlucky? Let me see that again.
Dang it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What the
Okay. Continue. Oh yeah, that's fun. Let's probably not do that in fast forward. Yeah, I think I was there for that power. I remember that. See, that's the thing. A lot of this, although we can correct a decent amount of it, some of it's already stuff she's learned just from the fact that this PB is a month old. Also, Aalaizah, I'm warning you now. I got nothing to help you with for Steamwood. Because at this point, you probably do it better than I do. So there will be a few things where I'm just going to be like, I'm not even going to touch that one. Alright. Yeah, I was going to say, actually, I know Zach has some, like, perfect Steamwood videos. Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, no, actually Zach loves Steamwood and has perfected it, which I think is why he loves it so much. Alright, let's create a save state there. Yeah, there is one cycle on the second phase that would be good to learn, depending on how long you go for that route. But anyways, so first phase, pretty good, you know, pretty easy. There is one thing that I would like to talk about that you can implement. It's a very tiny time save. I think Zach goes for it. But, so what you do is you slash it, like normal, and you're holding Lumina charge like this, right? And as soon as you activate it, you're gonna hold back on the joystick, and then for like a frame, turn around and then hold R1. So that way you start charging and you can back up behind him like this. So you'll be underneath him and then you can do it. And that puts you in a better position without actually costing any time if you do it correctly. Because now, because I was behind him, I'll actually be running towards him faster, and then I can throw him almost immediately. Oh, if I could get the input. You could do that before your first swing. Oh, okay. Well, I do it after the first one instead of before. But anyways, so you could do that on the first phase, and you could do that on the second phase as well. Alright, so as far as the second phase, this phase is actually so hard to do perfectly. It's one of those things where I don't think it's pixel perfect, but it's a very small window as to where you can stand between him without getting hit by both, but also still hit both. So, where I like standing is right around here. You'll notice, how do I point this out? So, if you look at where it says mono right now, and you look to the right of the menu, right where Musashi is, there's like a little brick line that's like green. I like to stand with like Musashi's right foot on it. So in this scenario, we got really high rolls on the right leg, normal rolls on the left leg. I think I may have done this too slowly, so I don't think we'll get a second hit in, but let's find out. Yeah, okay. So I want to actually redo that real quick. And I'll put a second save state on the second phase, because we don't care about the first phase anymore. Jesus Christ, that was awful. Oh. So one of the problems also with that strat is if you go too far away, one of the Lumina swings will actually miss. Save state that. So you want to stand right here, back up a little bit, swing, okay. Oh, that was actually unfortunate. Hang on, I'll give this a few tries. Because like I said, it's one of those things where you have to practice it, but you also have to be ready for what happens afterwards as well if you don't get it. So we got both. So that's fine. Oh. And so that's why there's so many things I could... Yeah, epic, right, dude? I love it. Reminder, I don't run this game on emulator, so the input lag's slightly different. Cough, cough, excuses, excuses. Jesus Christ, like, I can't even get the jump off there for some reason. There we go. I'll do that a few times just to, like, try and demonstrate, like, all the different things that can go wrong and what you should do in those scenarios. But yeah, this spot right here seems to work pretty well. I was about as lucky as it gets, I guess. Yeah, so the hardest thing about this phase is you don't actually know how much damage you're gonna do. So you don't actually know on the spot which leg you're gonna have to attack. Oh shit. So because that one's still armored up, we're gonna go for a full swing here, and we actually miss it. Yeah, that visual cue is pretty nice. That's the one I use. I don't know if Zach uses it, but you see this right here? I put it on his right foot right here. It seems to work pretty well. And then from me, I wait for the legs to swap around, go back just a little bit, and that usually is good enough. The thing is, though, you don't use one, you just kind of do the feel for it. So the thing is, you also want to do it as fast as possible. Oh, jeez. As soon as his legs swing back around, you already want to be pulling back and swinging Lumina. Because part of the problem is his legs kind of have these two phases where I'm not going to actually hit him this time, so just watch for his legs. So right now they're far away, and then they're close, and that's always when you get hit. And it's kind of weird because you can hit his hitbox when they're far away, but when they come close to you, that's when you're gonna get hit. There is like a pixel perfect way to not get hit even when his legs are close, but it's super hard to do, and it's possible to not even need it because you can get off 2 Lumina swings before he closes his legs. Like this. Problem is, a lot of times you'll get hit like that. Jesus Christ, jump's not working out. But anyways, I think you get the gist for this phase. Now let's jump into the third phase, which is pretty straightforward. It's literally just the last jump is the only semi-difficult input. Now for a little Easter egg, if you really want to, you can always just jump on his head. Oh, I couldn't charge fast enough. Wait, we're still up there. Granted, don't actually do that, it wastes time, but it's fun for marathons at least. Alright, so on this one, Musashi runs straight to the middle. Already be holding R1, and then what you want to do, oh jeez, hang on. When we get a closer save state. Getting 202s is fun for marathons. Listen, I don't want to talk about it. There we go. Put a save state right there. So you want to be holding R1 as soon as he goes up in the air. And you want to hold directly top left and then up. Okay, that was not a good example because we actually got a high damage roll there. Okay. But yeah, so you're going to hold up and left for a short period of time, and you're going to hold straight up. And then as soon as he lands, you're going to want to get that swing out. Alright, swing your thing. So unfortunately, as the input lag is throwing my timing off a little bit, this is something that it definitely takes practice getting used to, is that last swing. You absolutely want to get the jump off, because if you don't, chances are you're going to get a low damage roll, as you already have found that out.
Yeah.
Jeez. But let me show you what to do in the scenario where, like you just had, where you missed it, and then you don't know what to do. So you hit that. Oh, Jesus Christ, can I get a low damage roll, please? I guess I should be running today, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so now at this point, he's gonna throw his ball at you one more time, and then he's gonna jump. Just don't hit it. I could do that too. I was trying to portray it accurately. So once he does this, as far as his jumping mechanic, his target is based on where you are when he immediately jumps. So when he's throwing the ball at you, you want to go as far forward as possible. You wait for him to jump, and then you can come back. So that way he'll be in the perfect place for you to just jump and swing. So you should be able to recover that nicely. That's chapter 1. Okay. Let's take a look at what happens next.
Jumping in. That's okay. Bad.
Class is canceled, time for a run. Maybe in like a month. We'll see. Alright. I'm going to assume this menuing is fine. What kind of TV do you play on, by the way?
It's a flat screen of some unknown origin from years ago.
Do you find you have any input lag on it? Or rather,
There's a little bit, but it's something I've gotten used to.
it's just something I noticed. So I don't know if you've noticed this. Whenever Musashi talks, his little chat bubble literally like moves up and down a little bit. Yo, what's up, Chris? All right, hang on. Let me look at this real quick.
Not.
Okay.
I'll have to watch.
So just on that right there, hang on one sec. Again, this is like super small. Let me just get through this real quick. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Chris? Okay. Let's turn that off. I'm just kind of like, I wanted to do this for so long. And I'm kind of glad I'm doing it now. It's kind of fun. But, so, when you go down this hill, you always want to go to the closest zoning point as possible towards you. Now, there are a few exceptions, actually, and this one technically is, but I figured this is a good spot to explain it. So you'll notice in yours that you went to the right side of the zone, right? Instead of the left. Now,
yeah,
in this case, that's actually okay. But in most loading zones, you want to go to the closest possible side. So in this one, you'd go to the left in most zones. In this one, you don't really care, because you'll notice, look at where I am, and then look at where you actually respawned. Hang on one sec. Zach, is this actually the only zone in the game that does this? I'm actually curious. So, you actually end up on the right side, whereas I end up on the left side. So because you're going to be going this way anyways, it's actually not a problem at all. Yeah, I think that's the only loading zone that has this. So, while it would be best to hug this side of it right here, it doesn't really matter on this loading zone. That's just a good example of how you should handle loading zones in general. Now let's see this. Alright, I'd say that's a pretty decent path to the hotel. Not bad. Working and crafting in Final Fantasy XIV. Man, I can't do MMOs. Okay. Zach, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the optimal path for that hopper would be to go straight down this way. Actually keep going diagonal, right? And then left at the mayor's house. I'm pretty sure that would be it. Oh, god damn it, I gotta go get some water. Shit.
okay.
Yes, you want to maximize the diagonals, yeah. I'll be right back in like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah. One day I'll spend more time practicing the other hopper.
Alright. So let's sleep ourselves as well.
How apt.
We'll sleep 8 hours here. We'll make a safe state right here. Let's watch some more. Yes, and make sure at the end of that you jump right before that hill. There is a little hill right before that loading zone. Alright, for the most part, pretty reasonable. Is this a training session? Essentially later. It's something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, actually. Yeah, let's take another look, Zach. Yeah, like right there, that corner, I would say. So especially on this little like corner right here, you want to just hug it as close as possible. And so, hang on, let me see if I can give a good demonstration of that real quick. File, continue. Yeah, that's very true. Hop is slower than normal move speed. So you want to cut like that. And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but through every possible area that might seem super boring and super unimportant, you really got to keep that line as straight as possible. And yeah, you have plenty of room over there to get to that cutscene. Yo, what's up, Hangman? And let's see. So you want to cut right here, right against this mountain. You can keep straight here because you're going to be going this way anyways. You're fucking angry? Why are you fucking angry? So at the top of this one, actually, of that loading screen, you actually want to be to the top left because you're going to be going towards Twin Peak anyways. So you want to utilize the fact that that one, you can actually have a reason to change that. And you want to go straight up, and then you're going to hug this right here. You just got to watch out for the sign is the only thing. Despite all his rage. What are you stressed out about? Hang on. Okay, let's see. Yeah, like around that mountain, you can cut it just a little bit closer. And granted, all these little things, like, they're all small things. It's not like big mistakes or anything, but it's just there's a lot of things that could really add up over time. Like right there, you want to stay as close to the left as you can entering Twin Peak.
Nice.
And of course, I'm not gonna critique L jump at all because honestly, at this point, I was doing the same thing where I found it much easier to just stand still and do it. If you find something that works for L brace, just keep doing it. Like, don't worry about speed there. If you can make it consistent, that's better. That being said, though, at the end of it, hang on, you can jump directly down left and hug that corner. Hang on. So you're going to go straight this way. And then as you're approaching here, you can hug around this wall right here and come through here to reach this side of the loading zone. We'll be slightly faster. Let's see. Now to see if I can actually do this first try, or if I'm going to embarrass myself. Yep, too early. Oh, man. Well, okay, good thing I don't speedrun this game anymore. Damn, dude, I suck. Holy shit. Hang on. Because your parents keep appeasing your sister, letting her go out, gave her friend Luke over, keep preaching he's isolated when he's not here. Acting like idiots. You know what? Parents. All I can say. I agree. Actually, my fiance is kind of in a similar boat where they definitely treat her sister much differently than they treat her, unfairly. Yeah, Zach, that is a good point. Oh my god, dude, I'm doing it so early. It's because I'm so used to having so much input lag. Freaking HD TVs are the worst, by the way. Don't run on them ever. Okay, so just jump right here, and there you are, actually. It's basically perfect line right there. And then we'll save state right there. I'll get this out of the way. Okay. So let me watch that again one time. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to tell if that's actually a bad line or not, because I feel like this loading zone, I don't know if you feel this way, Zach, but the more I think about it, the less I feel like this specific loading zone isn't important, just because of the fact that you end up in the same spot as where you end. But I try to go more for the left side here. But I don't actually know if that's faster, because then you end up slightly to the left. Well, anyways, that one I wouldn't worry too much about. Yeah, middle sounds good. You go straight for the hotel. That seems pretty reasonable. $12:30. Oh, well, it's 15:30. That'd be 3:30. You could actually. So at this point, I think with your route too, I think it'd probably be. Is it faster? Yeah, you're more consistently gonna be allowed to sleep for 3 hours here, because your route, while in game or outside of real time wise is slower, but in-game time is actually faster. So you can consistently sleep 3 extra hours here. Oh wait, no. Do you even care about that? Because you don't do Steamwood skip. Hang on. What's the next thing you do here? Yeah,
I
no,
don't
you,
do Steamwood skip,
yeah, you
so
don't care. You don't care. You don't need to sleep 3 extra hours there. Never mind.
No, I can go safe.
Different routing.
My favorite.
Yeah, that's true. You can sleep during Steamwood as well. So I'm not gonna play through Steamwood, but we can watch through it and say whatever we see at least. But
Thanks, I'll use the manual and say good job. And your life so that you can go back.
yeah, that's another thing. As you saw right there, the corner of that slope for some reason doesn't have a loading zone, so you can't cut it too sharp.
Yeah.
Zach, what have you been posting for YouTube links, by the way? I didn't actually get to click on either of them. I was going to the first one, but I forgot to. Alright, yep, just jump up hills. You could, yeah, I'd do the same thing where you just damage boost through it. Just try to keep as straight a line as possible. Hope for good RNG. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with 4 skip. At that point, like, you might as well just go for Steamwood skip. Whenever you eventually transition away from this. Because then that would just be extra stuff to learn. We'll see how much I actually remember of Steamwood. As far as I remember, the first cycle does not mean shit. As long as you get it reasonably, you're fine. Second cycle is probably the most important, and then third's reasonably important to do fast, at least. Zach can correct me on that. First cycle matters for sleeping. That is a good point. Because if you don't do it fast enough, you don't get as much sleep. Yeah.
And I could have cut that corner a little more, but...
Yeah, the thing about Steamwood, though, for me is I always err on the side of caution where any small mistake is a big time loss. So I prefer to go for consistency, at least I used to when I went for this, over optimization. As long as you can make the cycles, I think that's what's most important. Yep, and so you'd sleep right here, actually. I mean, depends on how small of a mistake. So yeah, this is the cycle that matters the most. You want to cut things as close as possible. That was pretty good. You're good at those diagonal pipe jumps. And yeah, so at this point, 4, 5, and 6 valve, you want to literally get perfect as hard as it is.
Just have some issues in
Because this is going to cause you to probably miss the cycle, even with good movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can miss 2 valves before. If you miss a third, then at that point, you're just kind of screwed and you're going to lose that cycle. So funny, we all go right here for the 6th valve, but I think it's the same speed to go to the left. So you'll notice on the right, see how it just came up? That's actually the cycle you'd want to get on that elevator. So now it's on its way back down. So actually you almost missed about almost a full cycle. So, oh, okay, actually no, it was about half a cycle. And that wasn't even really towards movement for the most part. I'd say it was more towards just getting the meter at the right time. Which of course is just something that comes with practice. Sorry, Zach. In between 2 cycles, rather, would be the proper term. And then for the last 2 valves, it's really just time loss in how long do you take. Also, technically left is faster at the top. Okay. Fast forward a little bit. Jumping for... Yeah, that is true. See, that's another good example. So you see how you hugged the right corner of that? You want to hug the left corner of that loading zone.
Yeah.
Just a little thing. And I feel like a broken record with this. But, so entering Twin Peak, you'll notice... Hang on. Just that slight movement. Just watch this real quick. So you go like left and then you go right and then you finally go left.
The wiggle strat?
Yeah, the wiggle strat, exactly. Hang on, I could just do this real quick by going right back in. Upon entering this area, my strat is literally just hold straight up, actually. If you hold straight up, you'll go right across that corner. And then you just hold diagonal left when it's time. So just hold directly up and you just got it perfect. But let me catch up. Let me just catch up to you real quick. What I think I'll do is I'll just skip Steamwood and go cheat my way through Earth Scroll. Time for brown spot strats? Brown spot strats. Is that something you haven't even taught me yet? What is that?
For the magician dude, you use the brown spots.
Oh, is that what you do? I actually do it on... you're talking about when you hold R1, right? 15. 15. No, I can't afford that. Oh, Okay, one moment. Let me fix this real quick. Let's see here. Okay, infinite cache. And what was the other thing? Yeah, that's good enough for right now. Run continue. All right. Let's loop this back around. Did it just drop? Alright, Aalaizah, sounds good. Did I drop? I don't think so. I'm still green bars right now. Oh, are we good now though? Yeah, I didn't get any kind of notification or anything. Okay. So we appraise this real quick. So instead of actually doing Steamwood, I'm just gonna basically jump to the point where you're at. And fix this real quick. There we go. Cause fuck you, macho. Let's save state right there. So brown spot. Is that hang on. Is that this spot right here? No. This spot right here, right? This one right here. Is that what you're talking about? Because personally, I just do it as soon as the loading zone changes, like now. That's been my strat, at least. Oh, right. I forgot I still have moon jump on. But I guess both work. And I think shrink part is fine. Yeah, I'd say for that section, it's really just the small stuff of just tightening your edges a little bit, you know. So for this section, you want to be slightly towards the river. Oh, that was actually a bad example of it. And then as you're coming, oh, right. As you're coming off the lily pads, you want to come closer to this edge. You want to like kind of like slowly drift this way and then hug that corner and go over. No proto strats? What are the proto strats? Okay. Hitting magicians as they spawn inside you? Nah. Yeah, this seems all pretty okay. The inside lane technically is closer to the water, but that puts you kind of in a bad spot to pick up mercenary meatloaf. So I find myself sticking more towards the middle to kind of have the best of both worlds. Of course, this one you can hug a little bit tighter. And the good old root trick race. Yo, what's up, Proto? I mean, there's really nothing to say about the root trick race, right? So let's skip over that, and I'm gonna catch up to you real quick. Yeah, speak of the devil, we were talking about your strats actually. Okay, so now at this point, I can turn off moon jump. Disable. Okay, let's continue going. Something about hitting magicians as they spawn inside you. I didn't even know it was a thing, to be honest. One sec. Gonna skip all this dialogue, so it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, this part can be done a couple ways, I feel. I've honestly never really settled on my favorite way to do it, but there's definitely a few ways you can do this. But most importantly, what you want to be doing is you do want to hug a little bit to the left. Like this. Because it isn't a straight fall there. Oh no. Hang on. I thought I save stated at the Earth scroll. Hang on. Let me quickly catch back up then. Continue. Okay. Save state there. Yeah, so if you just kind of run straight down, you're gonna end up pretty far to the right of it. And not only that, if you hold straight down, you'll just obviously end up in the water. So if you go slightly diagonal, you'll end up more in a good spot. You'll end up over here-ish. That's something that is just something you can work at little by little as far as where the right placement is. Unfortunately, there's only so much I can just straight up be like, this is how you do this. There's a bunch of stuff where it's just like, yeah, you just have to fiddle around with it until it feels right for you. Let's keep going. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. But I will say, if done perfectly, you won't have to go down or up the slope at all. You'll be able to just straight up jump right onto the pole. But again, that's something that will come with time. Like, it's something that I, as you saw, screwed up multiple times. The goal is to shoot it where you land right in front of the pole. But of course, it's blind, so it's kind of hard to do. It's more of a just practice with timing. Meet up with John. Okay. So instead of taking the path that you're taking right now, hang on. Oh. Oh, at least I landed there. Yeah, village pathing is one of those things where it can be really tricky because when you first start, you just never really know where you're going, and I mean, sometimes I get lost because of the different angles of the village. For this one, you actually want to just run straight down the ramp. Because of course, the ramp is your friend, it's going to make you go faster, but it's also the tightest way there as well. So in this one, you do want to hug the left side when you're leaving this area, because that's where you're going to be going. And also you'll notice, speaking of getting lost in the village, you want to rotate your camera as little as possible in the village. It's just going to make your overall movement tighter. Even if you have to do something slightly blind, it's kind of worth it. So yeah, you want to hug it as close to the left without being too close, because then you can hit that dead zone. So you want to hug this. And as soon as you come down, you're going to go straight down, right along this. You're going to hug this building right here. And you're just going to hug the zone right there. Save state right there. Oh wait, actually, is yours slightly different? Don't you go to a different place? No, wait, you do use this one. Okay. I wasn't sure if you use the other hopper as well.
Oh. Dang it. Okay, fine.
Yeah, this jump's hard, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's like frame perfect. There's 1 to 2 frames of possibility there.
Thanks, Power. Ooh, Power got did an 80%.
It's another I always get in practice and mess up in runs.
Congrats,
Yeah,
man.
same. I'm pretty sure your church, if I remember correctly, your church escape's pretty okay. I don't know if it is in this run, but just in general, I don't think it's something that I really need to spend that much time on. Yeah, we're about to find out.
There we go. Oh.
Unlucky. Let's fast forward. Yeah, so that's a good point, Zach. Something that we found out not too long ago is that starting position is very lenient. Wait, you don't need to get...
All right.
Wait, what did I miss? You don't need to get into position before starting the hop storage. Position with R1. I don't know what you're trying to say there. You can get into position. Look at our first attempt. Okay, hang on. Maybe I just missed it.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought you were referring to. Yeah, right here, right? Yeah, as long as you're up on that well and you're not like way over here, as long as you're on this half of the well, you'll be fine. It's very lenient as far as what spot you can be in. And then you get it second try.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
Yeah, that is true.
Alright.
I find it easier to just be in that spot beforehand, though. But that's just me.
It's still better.
All right, now let's check out Church Escape. I know this one you had a little bit more trouble with just in general, but I think you understand it at least. I think it's just execution based and practice based.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's just one of those tricks that just needs a lot of practice. Ooh, you got it right here. Yeah,
Yes.
nice. First try.
Perfect.
Very good. Honestly, better than some of my church escapes. Most of my church escapes, even.
If I could get around
More rough movement, I will say. Oh, okay. I forget if we've talked about this yet, but I didn't even notice it when I was watching earlier. You want to buy your items, actually, so that you're not sitting here sleeping. You want to do this right before Steamwood. So after you've appraised Elbrace, you go straight into the shop and buy your items. Because, well, as you see right now, this is just wasting time. That also being said, though, you'll notice... Hang on.
Yes.
When you exit here,
Perfect.
you went the right side.
I will take
I mean,
that.
yeah, I would say the right side is slower because you can't go diagonally this way towards it because this building is in the way. Fake Steamwood go.
Yes.
So you're going to want to go this way to the left and then straight up and then over the fountain.
I will take that.
Well, actually, not even over the... Yo, Zach, what do you actually think about this? Which way is faster? So let's say in a world where she remembered to buy items.
Now. Yes.
And you exit, right?
Perfect.
Is it actually faster to go this way to the inn, or is it faster to go this way to the inn? I've always gone to the left, and I think you have too. But, like, thinking about it right now, I'd like to time this route out to the right. Because if you're just going to the inn, I don't know. It might be the same, but I don't know. It seems like it would be close.
I will take that. If I could get around the buildings now.
True. That is a good point. In which case, the left would be better. The 4 gels, no shame there. That's okay. Yep, and then we go to sleep. All right, so at this point, you already know you have 90. You know you don't have enough money to finish the sleep cycle. So at this point, I think... oh, okay, so here's another example. You'll want to go diagonal. You don't want to go around the back of the grocery store. Okay. But yeah, you know you're low on money. I forget what you actually did in this run,
Okay,
but I
that
think
was
the...
not the button I wanted.
I think the ideal play there is to grab that sword, right? The one in the secret room. So let me catch up to you real quick, because we're probably going to have a lot to demonstrate in the restaurant, I'd imagine. Yeah, I think it was too, and then it kind of screwed you over because of it, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm fine. And then you're like, oh, wait. Moon jump enable. Okay. Continue. Okay. Okay. Let's just jump into the restaurant the old-fashioned way. There we go. Save state right there. Let me get rid of moon jump again before I forget. Okay. Now let's see bowling. Was this the one where you actually got double strikes? Good jumps over the soda pop. Let me tell you, that wall grind right there is so tough to do optimally. It's just something that comes with practice, though. That actually wasn't too bad, though, I'll be honest. I was actually pretty good on that wall. The camera angles just make it so hard. So, just right off the bat, we could just tighten up these corners a little bit. Hang on, let me pull it up. Yeah, I can't even... Unfortunately, the analog angles on emulator versus PS3 are different, so it's kind of hard to do those optimally. But so here are the points you're going to want to shoot for in this room. So right off the bat, too, you're going to want to zoom in. This room does have some lag when you do the assimilation. So right off the bat, you want to zoom in. And then the first jump actually wasn't too bad. I'd say you could cut it a little bit closer. Like maybe about here. Let's find out. Yeah. And then so on this part, you actually want to jump a little bit early onto this step, so that way you're as close to the edge as possible. So I'm just gonna do it kind of like this. And then no, that was actually too late. But you want to like land right on this corner, so that way you can jump and continue riding this corner, because you want to ride this inside wall. And then, let me see how you did on this next section. Yeah, so right here. Okay, perfect. The thing is, though, that was pretty good up to this point. You can actually go to the right side of them rather than the left side, because that leads you to where you're going anyways. So, you can go like this. And of course, just ride the inside corner. Yeah, see how much lag was right there? That's from not zooming in. Not bad, not bad.
Oh, come on.
Yep, just a minor mistake. All right, Zach, you have fun. Yeah, that was pretty good recovery as well, actually. It's one of those things where, as you know, whenever you fall off of something, it puts you where you last were. So in most games, I feel like in platforming, it puts you a little bit close or farther from the edge, where in this game, you're literally on the edge. So if you put any directional input before you jump, you're going to fall off again, and it's going to feel real bad. So it was a really good way of recovering it. You always want to be mindful of that, because it could be a real tilter when you fuck something up, and then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that rule of the game. Oh, that was unfortunate. Okay.
No more dumb mistakes. Got plenty of those left to make later in the run.
So one little thing here, another very minute detail, is when you reach these Vambies, you actually want to, again, take the inside path. So you want to go upwards. Because while it seems like that fire is going to reach you, it's not. Like right here, it won't reach you. Have fun in Mar-a-Lago. So yeah, you'd rather take the upwards path. And then that way you can also cut this corner right here by just jumping like that. And of course, you're just gonna damage boost through this. You don't care what really happens. Whatever happens, happens. Like, actually, you tried to sidestep it a little bit. Don't even bother. Just leave it up to RNG's sake. Alright, there you go. Yep, there's the strike.
Heck yeah. Okay. I will take it.
Now, one sec. Yep, this is all good, optimal. Oh, I spoke too soon.
The door.
I'm sure this is all perfectly fine. Hang on, back up a little bit. You can jump more diagonally to that button would be the only thing I'd say. Again, we're talking milliseconds, but there's just so many examples of milliseconds that in the end it'll all really add up.
Just happened?
Yeah, same. I'm still jealous of this double strike. Never in my life.
If
You can hit that Bincho from a little bit farther away. That was a little too close.
I'm gonna be so mad. Like, what even?
If only it was a better run. Don't worry, there'll be other times.
RNGesus has blessed this run.
Yeah, overall
I
bowling
know, this
wise,
build's never gonna be beaten. It's gonna be awful.
this dungeon was pretty good.
Ugh.
Let me catch up. Just small stuff, you know? Nothing big. Nope. Fuck. Dude, input lag is so real. Oh my god, I'm out of BP. Hold up. What are the chances? I'm actually gonna fight this guy with... Oh god, it does like no damage though. I'm fighting him with fusion just because I don't want to overlevel Lumina by accident for later on when we're looking at other parts of the run. Please give me. You know what? Actually, I got a better idea. I know how we can solve this problem. Very easily, actually. Yeah, thank you. You read my mind. I'm just gonna put Moonwalk on. Or actually, I could just put on Infinite BP. That's never gonna be a problem, right? I could just put on Infinite BP and Infinite HP. There's no reason for me not to. When it comes to just demonstrating. Yeah, right, and you're talking about with the cheese and stuff, so that shouldn't be a problem though. Yeah, if there wasn't more evidence of how bad the input lag difference between this and PS3 is, it's this very moment. There we go. Only took like 12 tries or so. Yeah, so even that was too far away. The point I like to aim for... Oh, that's actually the first Bincho I grabbed, right. The Bincho I like to grab is this black line. I shoot for that. Like that. And same for the other mercenary. Oh, speaking of which, I gotta remember later on, I still gotta grab Mercenary Meatloaf because I didn't grab him. Of course, we sleep here. Yeah, so you can kind of go diagonal on this button. And then just as you land on it, you can actually turn upwards. So you don't have to do any adjustments as you get here. Hey, we actually got a strike. Alright, so I guess this will actually somewhat mimic your run. Yeah, just shoot for that black line. Now for this room, you can do it the same way each time. What you're going to be shooting for is you're going to hold up. Hang on, let me actually save state this real quick. You're going to hold up and try to land on this first step. This one. So that way from this one, you can... Hang on. This is actually really tough to do, but... Yeah. So if you land on that first step, you can jump immediately and land right high enough. That's something that takes some practice. And the reason you want to do that is you'll notice what step I am on right now. Now watch if I get too close though. You see how I'm much higher? So now Musashi has a much longer distance to walk back down. So yeah, you want to shoot for... Oh, not quite. It's tricky, to say the least. Oh. Yo, what's up, Afro? How you doing, Jordan? Oh, and as we all know, you don't bowl here. Right. So that's one dungeon down. Well, let's save state that real quick, and let's see where you go next. Oh, actually, you got it right there too. So you get it occasionally, but mostly, yeah.
I had issues in that first room. Oh my god. And I shot. You're right. It's fine.
You go platforming next, okay. And honestly, it's just whatever you prefer.
My life is fine. Also, that gold will be beaten at some point because I'm gonna figure out how bowling works.
Okay. Easily one of the hardest dungeons in the game, though. Coming up.
Oh, of course. Hi, Puppo. Well, thank you for the kiss. Sorry, I'm not at a spot I can do.
Good first room. Let me just pause it real quick. Duggo. So these Mario 64 rooms, right? It's something that, honestly, it's not a bad idea to just sit in there for about a half an hour. And just, like, work with the overall, like, physics of. So the thing about this one, hang on, let me leave the first room real quick. The first one, you get a downward slope, so you want to stay on it as long as possible. The second one, you get an upward slope, so you want to jump off of it immediately. So, which you mostly did anyways, so. Like that, and then jump as fast as you possibly can. Now, second room. So this is actually something that I recently looked into. I'm still not sure if it's actually faster, but it feels faster. So you can, like you just did, just jump immediately. But what I like to do is I like to actually slide on them a little bit. Like, let me see if I can demonstrate it. Oh, not a good demonstration of it. Unfortunately, the analog angles just aren't the same. Yeah, exactly. that, and then that. At most, that probably saves like a couple milliseconds, but it's just something to keep in mind. Now, this next room, honestly, it's kind of hard to explain this room because holy shit, this room is just a mess. Not you do it like a mess, but the entire room is just a mess. So far, it seems pretty good.
Have 2 strikes in a run? Like what? Oh my gosh. Bambi. Bambi move. That is my little sister. Her wife is at work right now. And yes, he is a very big buck.
Yeah, just... Oh, unfortunate. Of course, like, one of the most important things is just not falling. But of course, there are, like, some teeny tiny optimizations you can go for. So for this room, what I like to go for, this might be a little bit tricky to do on emulator, but I'll give it a go. So, oh wait. Oh, yeah. I think emulator's gonna throw my timing off quite a bit on this because this is kind of tight. Oh geez, yeah, exactly. I can't even do frame perfect jumps. So it's gonna be kind of tricky for me to explain this room. There we go. So for that first jump, what I like to do is I like to run up to right here. And that's when I do a full jump. And then I expect that as soon as I hit that jump, there's going to be a second jump directly after it, like this. Ah, damn it. Like that. It's just kind of hard because of doing frame perfect jumps on emulator. There we go, like that. And then you get the down slope. And then you want to cut this corner right here. So as soon as you land over here, you can cut this corner. There's a few examples of these types of corners where you can just skip right through and then you go. So I like to jump for this next one a little bit after this line. So like right about here. And I like to do a lot of these as like some little jumps, some big jumps. Yeah. I'm gonna actually reset the room so that way the Vambies aren't in the way. In that case, I had to back pedal a little bit. Alright, oh. Not even following my own lines. Oh, jeez. Like I said, it's probably one of the toughest rooms in the game. And it's something that you just have to get used to the physics. As far as the Vambies go, too, I would actually do a little bit of practicing with them. Seeing, like, how close they actually have to be to hit you or grab you. Like, I'm pretty close to them. The thing is, you kind of just have to, like... You kind of have to run into them if they're going to grab you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird how they work. If you're, like, behind them, they don't care. It's not until they put their arms out that they really start to care. But yeah, that's something to just... I would suggest just fooling around with, figuring out their ranges, because at the end of that room, I feel like you kind of dodged around him a little, like right over here. Hang on.
Thanks guys for watching me.
I feel like you dodged around him a little bit more than you had to when you could have just walked right through him.
Like what?
Like right there, even though he's super close to you, I think you could have just walked right through him because his hands were still down. He's not paying attention to you. He won't do anything. Okay, now let me pause here. And again, like Jordan was actually talking about, you just kind of want to walk down or run down on those slopes. Let me just get rid of my tiredness since I've been doing all sorts of extra stuff. Okay, I'll save state. Okay, let's see this next one.
Use that gel real quick because I know I'm bad.
So actually, this room is a perfect example of just how much the wiggles can affect you. So watch this. Just watch for the wiggles on the beginning of this room.
Just gonna go ahead and use that gel real quick because I know I'm bad.
So right here, you have that wiggle right there. That little bit made you miss the cycle. And that's not even a tight cycle. Honestly, I think you could have still made it if you went to the side of it. Hang on. Run, continue. But yeah, this first cycle right here, no problem. You can fit in there. Also, what you want to pay attention to, though, is so these rotating blocks, right? This one rotates this way, whereas the other one rotates this way, right? So the way you want to take advantage of that, hang on, is for this first one, you want to be on this side, because you'll notice you go faster than if you're going against it on the right side. So you want to be on the left side. And then on this one, you want to be on the right side, if that makes sense. Because you want to go with the block rather than against it. So left side, right side. You'll move much faster that way. So you can make this in one cycle. Well, let's see what happens after that. So that's another missed cycle right there. Again, with these flaming Vambies, their hitboxes are smaller than they look. And even if you get hit by him, it's actually not that big of a deal. You're only going to take 9 damage from him, and it's only going to stop you for a split second. Oh, hang on. So, yeah, this guy only does 9 damage. He's really not that scary. So you just want to hug this corner right here. And then again with these blocks, you want to be on the lower side and then the higher side. Oh. Of course, you still want to get to the point as well. There we go.
One of these days, I'll do the skip in a run for those things.
Yep, see how you're going against it there? You go really slow as a result. Okay, let's check out this next room. So you know Zaxel RNG manip already. Honestly, for me, it only works like half the time. I don't actually know why it works, why it doesn't work, but yeah, I just do it because I'm superstitious, and yeah. That room was fine for you. I'm not too worried about that. So let's save state of that. Pretty decent line, honestly. I'd say as long as you don't get hit, don't even worry about that room as far as trying to tighten it up. Because the thing about trying to tighten up this room is if you do, you're gonna get hit, right? And if you jump, hang on. So like that's as tight as you can get it, but then the jumps become a factor, I'm pretty sure.
Enemy fighter planes incoming!
Yeah. So it really comes down to how tight you can make it. And if you get lucky with this, with the pendulums, basically. Yo, Max, thank you for the host. Appreciate it. Were you playing 120 today? But yeah, I would not worry about this room. You could just do it to the best you can without dying. Any new PBs today? He disappointed us. Yo, what's up, Forward LuckX? We're doing kind of like a little masterclass in speedrunning. I'm taking Aalaizah's current PB, and we're kind of diagnosing all the problems she might be having. You got a 149, it was on pace for 142. Oh, damn, that's crazy pace, though. Let me watch this room again, though, because this is kind of a complex room with a lot going on. For anyone that doesn't know, Brave Fencer Musashi is a Squaresoft title, action-adventure RPG platformer. Okay, so that first jump is unfortunate, and then you kind of like half decide to go to the right, but then go down. So I'm not actually gonna break this room down too much because I have a feeling from what I've watched from you in the last month, you've gotten much better at that room. But anyways, so I follow this line right here, the one that it's like Musashi's currently running down. There we go. And yeah, you can stop right there and just hold R1, and you just got to be ready on the jump. Is the big thing. This jump can be pretty tricky. Or you could be kind of risky like Zach does and just jump again the moment. Oh, hang on. It's a really tricky jump, actually. Can I diagnose Spyro gameplay? No, I can't because I'm 112th. So what I like to do actually is I'll actually let go of the down input in the middle of the air because you almost get too much air. Like if you just hold down, chances are you might actually run right into the lava. It's another one of those feel things. Yeah, like that was too far along. Like that. And you want to jump over this, go diagonal. So the thing about this one is you actually just want to hold right here. The camera angle makes it look weird, and I actually just did the exact same thing you did, I think. I don't know why I'm having that issue. It might just be because of emulator. So just a little disclaimer for you guys that are unfamiliar. I'm third place in this game in any percent. I haven't played it in like a month though, so I'm kind of lacking, and also I'm doing it on emulator right now, and I normally do it on PS3. There's much more input lag on PS3, so I'm actually doing inputs too early as a result. But yeah. Okay, let's watch the next room. Because I think this one was just unfortunate, what happened to you. But then you figured it out. This next room is another important one.
I get the second one pretty consistently, but the first one I never get. So...
So you were at least safe. That being said, though, I want you to pay attention to just how much you're wiggling and how much you really don't need to move as much as you are. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. So this room's actually kind of hotly contested as to which strat you should go for. I personally like to go for the one that has damage abuse in it. I don't actually know if it's faster, but it feels cleaner to me, so I go for it. But here it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang on. This may take a couple tries. So we damage abuse through that. Wow, that was almost perfect. So you'll notice when you're doing it, first of all, you went like down this way, and then you kind of like centered yourself on this platform, right? So that you're on the middle of this platform. And then you went to this one, and you did the same thing where you kind of like stayed in the middle of it. But realistically, through all this section, you can just kind of ride the middle of it from this point. So you land on this section, you stand in the middle, and then you slightly adjust so that you land on the opposite side right here. Then you keep on the inside curve. And so that way it lines you up perfectly for this side. Now when you're on this one, you want to stay on this side, not this side. Now as far as I could manage, I couldn't find a way to do it as fast as possible without getting hit by this. So I just take it, and then I think actually I go around this curve here. And then from here I jump up here, but then I jump straight down. because you don't really need to go all the way around here. You could literally just cut this and then across here, and then so at this point, this is where you have the most variance because this is as far in as possible. You kind of just have to judge it whether you have to wait here and then go, or if you're lucky, you might just hit the right cycle if you did everything perfectly, where it's like this, and you could just jump right through without stopping. I'll try to demonstrate it one more time though. Oh, hang on. I did that save state a little bit too early. A damage boost there. Oh. I keep fucking up that last jump though because I'm too far up. I need to come a little bit closer over here before you make that jump. And go. Yeah, that's easily one of the toughest rooms in the game though, I would say.
Well, that's not high enough up.
And that's platforming room. Now we have ghost room.
Except I am gonna... Actually... No, I think I...
So this is when you're like, oh, I don't need money. But actually, you probably should have hit that item up. Let's see this room. This room's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I know 90 won't be enough for sleep, but... I figure I'll see where I'm at, because I don't need to sleep for a little bit, so I'll get extra money in Frost Palace.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Where it's not as much...
Try to run as
loss.
straight as possible there. And then we got bat jump. Let's see how bat jump goes. Although this isn't something that I think I need to explain. I think you fully understand how this trick works.
Oh, you're right. Oh.
And you're slightly distracted because I reminded you you need money. My bad. Okay. Yep, seems like a pretty decent line.
Oh my
A
gosh.
little bit too far to the right, I think, though. Yep, that's fine. It's 50-50 anyways.
Yep, I forgot I needed to sleep after Elfest. Okay, well, you know, we'll figure it out on the fly.
So I definitely think the play here when you realize that you
Any
need
chests
money.
that are on the way that I can grab
Yeah.
since I skipped the one that I normally grab.
I was gonna say is to still just grab the one you normally grab. I forget what I ended up telling you because I remember I was looking it up to see how much they're worth. So right off the bat,
Yeah,
more wiggling going on. Hang on, let's back it up a moment. So that ghost will never hit you right away. You could just run straight down. At this point, I think you're just kind of distracted trying to figure out where you're going to buy items.
the one in the third dark section of
Or
this.
get items, rather. But let me catch up to you real quick. Oh, when did I start the timer? I just noticed that. Are you talking to a recording? No, this is a VOD. This is her last PB. As far as who I'm talking to, this is just for her to watch back later. I'm guessing she's working right now. I was aware that she is on like call, but she's at home, so she's able to watch at the same time. But this is basically just so that way she can go back and watch for anything that she might have missed. And really for anybody else, like, who wants to learn this game and wants to know, like, the finer details about it. Doesn't hurt. Perfect line. I'm gonna sleep a little bit extra just because we're so tired. Yeah, so you could just hold down, diagonal here, diagonal here, diagonal here, and here, and one more. And just knowing how tight you can take it is just purely from practice, little by little. Okay. Let's see what you do here. I think you do this next section fine.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking. Okay. I will grab that one.
Okay, so slight thing about this room is for this first one, you could literally just hold top left. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? Sorry, it's been a while. I don't actually want to press that because I forgot where I save stated. Let me go back here and save state right there. So this one, yeah, you were right. You want to hold R1 just because you want to run into that. And of course, you didn't realize you were currently sleeping, so I think that's what screwed up your cycle more than anything. And then, yeah. One little thing about this, though, is so the first block, well, I mean, yeah. So I guess it doesn't really matter. You always want to stay to the top right of this section because the last block here, it's going to let you buy first on the top half of it rather than the bottom half, if that makes sense. Because it's always going to be coming from the top left. So, hang on one sec. So when it's like this, it'll take you longer versus this being on the right side of it. Yo, what's up, Magus? Another good example right here of just... Oh, geez, hang on. I misclicked that. Where are we?
Yeah,
Okay. So after this room... So you immediately go up. Good example of the wiggling that you want to avoid. You want to go straight left. And now, this is a nice little shortcut too that you can do. Is you could jump from there to there. Instead of having to go all the way around here, you can just come in and jump across. And then, this is nice and easy. Oh. Ignore that slight sidestep, but yeah.
that's not the way I eat.
Alright, let's see what you do for this next room. I suck at this next room, actually, so I don't have much to offer here. It's basically just practice it until you get the timing for it. That was actually pretty good, I'd say. Something like that is what you're gonna really want to get. Okay, this is really cool. You're learning all the secrets. Good. I'm glad. That's actually what I was kind of like hoping to like show, is just like not just like, oh, these are all the tricks in the run, but every like little detail that I can think of as to how to get faster.
Bummer. Is that the one that's right here?
Okay, so this is another example of where you can go like this. Instead of going this way, you can just jump right across here. Oh, that one you do have to worry about the flame though. Like that? Yeah. So let me re-enter the room and do this one real quick. Just like that, and then... I thought that was gonna be an early jump, to be honest. You just want to get there in the shortest amount of steps possible, and hang left until you reach the door. Okay. See how you do on this room. I think you grab the treasure chest just because you want to see if you can get more money.
Yeah, I'll grab it. Well,
yeah, then you realize where it is.
If I can remember how to get there. Helmet?
Now we have the last room, the dark room. Well, you grab the item so that way you can get some money here. Okay. Let's see how this room looks. I don't actually remember. Okay, that's pretty good. Yep. Just a slight thing there. Not too bad, just a few things. Hang on. Okay. So that first section of bridges was pretty good. It wasn't until you got across that we started having some issues. Hang on, actually that was from a, there we go. Okay. So you jump just like you did. But the thing is, you want to, once you get to the green ones instead of the yellow ones, you want to continue to hang a little bit left because that's the direction you're going in. Now at this point, just as you're hitting the last part of this platform, if you keep running, you're just gonna run into that, right? So you don't want to do that. But just as you're at the edge of the platform, you want to jump. Hang on, I'll show you what I mean. So jump. If you do a full jump, you'll actually skip this step right here, and you'll land right here, and you can immediately go like this. Okay. So you just jump. Oh, hang on, I'm kind of stuck. And then jump this way to get towards this guy, who has already started chasing me, so I'm going to load a new save state. So when you get to this guy, we like to give him a little Lumina Slash beforehand to stun him, so that way we can grab him without worrying about getting eaten by him, because you do have to get really close to him in order to actually grab onto him. And of course we immediately throw him, and as soon as you throw him, you can already start jumping down. And what I like to do is every time I have to jump, I like to also jump slightly to the left, so that way we can get as close as we possibly can to this door, so we can just hug the wall. See how you do on this next room. Yep, I mean, pretty straightforward. This one can cause a little bit of problems. It looks like you got really good RNG, though. That was crazy good RNG.
Light in there, friendos.
Yeah. You were very aware of how lucky you got there. Alright, so let's see if I can give an example of where you don't get lucky. Hang on. Oh, well, I mean, or just be bad, I guess. Let's try again. Yeah. So what you want to aim for is you want to aim for that 3-step. Because you listen to Musashi's footsteps. Since you can't see anything, you can't use a visual cue. So jump here and then 1, 2, 3, jump. And you should be good. Of course, right portal. I'll put a save state there. Okay, so just hold straight up. Yep. Able to do it one-handed, as you should be able to. Yep, that's pretty good. Yep, just hug this wall just like you are. That's perfect. Just got to make sure you jump right before the steps.
those. Sometimes I get it I get them like half the time.
Yeah, those bats can be really annoying. So I don't blame you for every once in a while not getting them. I don't always get them every time. So this one's important. All right. So you see how... Oh, actually, you did that perfectly. Okay. So most people will try to avoid that Vambi. You could just hold straight up, and he will not grab you. You'll be fine every time. Yeah, so this section you actually do really optimally. Let's see how you do the arrow section. So this is actually the same way I do it. Zek does his slightly different. Oh, well, I do it all the same way for the 3. You just missed that one, which is fine. Zek does it a little bit differently. I can't really demonstrate it because I'm not very good at it, but it is faster. That was actually pretty insane.
I do not. Dang it.
Yeah, so actually you have the right idea here. You're just jumping a little bit early.
Oh.
And that's just unfortunate just due to the circumstances that you were in this room for as long as you were. Had you not fallen this many times, you wouldn't have to worry about that Vambi. This room is all about just holding up and just pressing X at the right time, pretty much. It looks so much harder than it actually is, but the inputs are actually pretty simple. So why don't we get that far as well? Frickin' bats, man. Oh, wrong room. I almost held right there. It's just so hard to read the bats. You can never tell when they're going to attack you fast or slow or what. Yo, what's up, Rui? And just hold R1 for 2, jump. 1, 2, jump. 1, 2, jump. Alright, now this is the room. The room. So many runs have ended here, right? Not just yours, but mine as well. Hold up. So this is part of the problem with holding up, is you have to jump fairly often, because even though you have room to run, you'll get stuck on these weird areas. And then it just comes down to knowing when to jump. So you jump over this first one, you jump again, and then right here, pretty much just don't stop jumping. But because yeah, exactly. The geometry makes no sense. So basically you just have to jump in very specific areas, like right here. Oh wait, damn, that was too early. Because do you get caught here? Hang on, I'm waiting. No, okay, you don't. Yo, what's up, Red? I'm doing art stuff. Yeah, this is one of those rooms that you just kind of have to practice a whole bunch. And right here, jump here, here, and then... Yeah, I try to use the Vambis as my guide as to when you should jump. The save state here, and that's it for the restaurant dungeon.
Plain. Cool.
Pretty sure this is all fine.
That's not the direction I want to go.
You fixed your own
I
problem.
always do that when I leave the restaurant.
Yep, and then you just sleep right in front of here. Yep, and you're just gonna appraise everything, sell everything.
Deal with all of the rest of that later.
I personally would have done that now. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because you have to come right back. I don't know, I just feel like I would have personally done it just because it would be off my mind.
Because I'm gonna...
Yep, left is the correct way to go there.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, I forget, do you have trouble with this quad jump? Or penta jump, depending on how high up you are? Not anymore? Okay. Yeah, even here you do it pretty decently. You didn't need that extra jump. But other than that, yeah, that was pretty good. And then, yep, you want to ride the right side of the wall here, just because that's the closest spot to it. You don't really need to go to the middle here. That's pretty good distance to swing Lumina from. Yeah, exactly. You can actually... Hang on one sec. You can make it, and I think 4 jumps total. And you can actually start much lower, but of course, the less you do, the more risky it becomes, obviously. Okay. I'm just gonna fall asleep real quick. Okay. We go ahead, we appraise our shit. And we go in. Yeah, so you can actually do it pretty low. I think you can even, like, do it. Hang on, let me just make sure I just did that properly. Okay, yeah. I think you can even just do it from right here. But I think you need, like, an extra jump off of it. Oh, man, it feels so weird doing this on a PS4 controller again. Yeah, no, I can't even reach that. But anyways, I'll just do it. The consistent strat is coming all the way up, pretty much. Oh, this feels so weird on my pointer finger to do it this way. Oh, man. I'm so glad I'm doing almost no glitches in this, because my hands would get so uncomfortable with a PS3 controller after this. Oh, I'm gonna miss that. Nope, just barely made it. So yeah, you want to stick to the right side of this platform. There's no reason to go straight. Oh, I mean, you still want to stay on the platform, of course. But yeah, you want to hug this. See, my problem now is, though, So I agree with you because going like this is a lot easier than going like this or whatever I have to do on the PS3 controller. But I'm just so used to this claw grip now that this just feels so unnatural. It feels so wrong right now. Alright, so I'm going to save state that. Let's see how we do after that. So I know you've missed Elvest more than a handful of times, and I don't know why. It seems to be a theme among the BFM community so much that people are at the point where they've come up with saying for it, which is praise Elvis, Walter Scroll or something, or Walter Scroll, or after Walter Scroll, praise Elvest, which basically means after Water Scroll, appraise the Elvest. And it's just a stupid ass saying that because it's so stupid, it reminds you to grab it every single time. Real gamers get adapters for DualShock 1? Yeah, right. But yeah, why it's most important, not only because it saves time, but just because of the fact that you practice Relic Keeper with L-Belt or Elvest for so long that doing it without it is like doing it casually. You just, it's completely different. And hang on, let me see what you did. Okay, you got the old shirt. Did you sell the other things? Yeah, it is a death sentence basically. Yeah, I'm kind of curious why you didn't, or did you just forget? You have enough money though, actually. I don't even think you needed those then. You only needed the 300. You didn't need those extra items. Yeah, you have $100. At this point, you can have 0 money. It doesn't matter. The rest of the run is based on what happens after this. Again, take the opposite side. Don't go around the back of the grocery store. Go around the front. Oh yes, perfect. I want to show you a lot of these things down here. Specifically, I want to work on the torch jump, and also I want to show you that triple jump that you always seem to struggle with.
Oh. Alright, come on now. There we go. Or not. Oh my goodness.
I know. It's tougher than it looks, to be honest. Like, it's something that when you're in practice, you could just do 100 times in a row, but then when you get into a run, you kind of forget how to do it.
There we go.
So I'm going to pause it right there, and we can talk about that a little bit. Run, continue. Okay. Of course, walk right down these. Double jump over these. Across. And just double jump all the way up. Ha! Can we talk about my money right now? I think because I don't know what happened, but my money is all kinds of bugged right now. Oh, this is too funny. I don't know what's happening to my money right now, but I am going bankrupt very fast. I broke the game. Oh, game fixed. Oh, damn, that was unfortunate. I think I just overflowed or some shit. Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so don't worry about changing to water scroll during this part. The thing about torch skip is you don't really need water scroll to jump on torches. It just negates the 9 damage that it does. Oh wait, this is a double jump section. What am I doing? Which really isn't that scary. So what you want to do is, just like you did, you lined up with it. But the thing is, if you hold up and jump at the same time into the torch, even from like way back here, chances are you're gonna hit the torch. So what you want to do is you want the first jump to be with no directional input. So you just jump and then push up and jump at the same time. It'll work every time. So like this. Oh wait, my bad. And then just the side step. Oh, hang on, I took too long on that first one. And then to get over this, you only need 1 jump. You don't need 2 to get over the door. So now, you still don't need water scroll at this point. Instead, I just do a quick little triple jump over it. I'll save a couple seconds for some reason, or yeah, actually, I would say 1 to 2 seconds it saves. Like not even milliseconds, like full seconds. You don't need water scroll yet, you just don't. So you could just swap to earth scroll at this point to get over that. Now we're gonna enter through this area. Now this section, pretty sure you know how to do. It's just an execution issue. Takes a lot of practice to get through this section. It's not, those jumps are not as easy as they look. They're really not. They're really tight. And if you mess it up, don't be afraid to just go the default route. And now I'm definitely gonna save state it here and let you catch up so we can talk about this next area. And of course, as with everything, the most important thing is trying to take the most straight lines you possibly can. Yeah, I think it's part of the angle, but I also want to show you how to deal with the backup if you miss it. Because I think every time you don't get it first time, you don't get it at all. If you don't get it first try, you end up like 2 more times, you always miss it, and then you go the backup route. And the backup route is very slow.
And I know I'm bad at Relic Keeper.
Alright, so this time you didn't even bother to try. The second time you were like, screw this, I already know what happens when I try again. So you just went the backup route. So let's take a look at it. So first things first, when you hit this point, you actually don't have to wait on the cycle. It looks like you're gonna miss it, but you're actually gonna get it every time. It's very tight, but not difficult at all. It's just go diagonal and then go straight up. It looks like you're gonna get hit. Don't worry, you won't. So that'll save you a cycle right there. And you can even add a jump for extra measure. And then that, because of that cycle, that makes that jump very easy. You don't have to actually get hit by that. That was just me being an idiot. Let me do that again. So, okay. So at this point, what's happening in yours a lot of times is, so you'll notice how I'm going diagonally right, like this direction, right? Your chance, I actually got really lucky there. Your chances of making it that diagonally are way less. You're way better off. Hang on. Let me get rid of this guy. I'll show you how to deal with him after. So you're much better if you just go slightly down and to the right, and then oh, that was actually just me having a bad jump though. Hang on. So you want to aim more for like right up here. You don't want to like try to take the optimal path of like, oh, I'll just keep going down this way. Now for the backup, it's actually not that bad. It's actually way easier than you're thinking. So let's say I go for it. Oh no, I missed it. Now I have to deal with this flaming guy, right? You can literally just jump into him and then wait for the damage and then jump again. I'll show you again. So if you miss it the first time, you don't even infinite jump or anything. You just damage boost off of him. So. Just like that. One more time. And granted, he's probably not going to be in the same spot every time, so you have to do some on-the-fly movement. But basically, you just jump right into him. You do have to. It's kind of misleading, in that you'll hear Musashi kind of like do his little scream. Don't jump again too early. You have to wait for the damage and for Musashi to start moving again before you can get the third jump in. And then, hang on. So you want to ride this corner of the wall, but be careful about being too close because then you could fall off. But yeah, you have the right idea here with these. Okay, so I just want to talk right here. Hold up, watch this. So you see where you land right here? And you even are aware that you could just keep running forward. This is absolutely flawless positioning. And then you move inwards. You want to stay exactly where you were. And I'll show you why in a moment. So you just double jump over these, right? But the thing is, and it doesn't look like you can do this, but you can. Watch this. Oh, I'm bad, by the way. That's the thing that you don't want to do, by the way. Okay, so this positioning is perfect, right? Here's why. You just jump over this. You see this torch? You walk right through it. If you're close enough to the right, and it's pretty lenient, you could just walk right through it. And then you just go this way. So as long as you're close enough to the wall, you don't even have to worry about it. And that'll save you all that like zigzagging that you were forced to do because of the button and the torch and all that good stuff. You could just walk straight.
Doing it live, y'all.
And this is fine. Interesting that you do it on that side. I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone do it on that side. Let's actually look. So yeah, you're right in the middle of the room, so whether you go up or down, it's going to be the same amount of time no matter what. But I've always personally done it this way. But it works either way. Of course, I'm an idiot. You're supposed to go to water scroll here, not earth scroll. You did it right. I did not. Anyways, let's save state it here. And dive into the mother of all boss fights, which is going to be tough to demonstrate, but I'll see what I can do. Easily the hardest boss to do optimally. And honestly, I never really did it that well. I can't do the... Do you do the 2-button strat or no? Do you do the single button strat?
That's true. That is a very fair point.
I'll see if I can demonstrate the 2-button. Okay, you mostly single button. Okay, good. Yeah, I do the same thing. Hang on, let me back it up real quick. Okay. I want to actually just talk about that first attack right off the bat. So, as soon as you're allowed to move, on this boss fight, you want to be holding R1.
This must be the second Crest Guardian.
As soon as this boss fight starts, you want to be holding R1 because you want to get it charged as fast as possible. So instead of running to the left and then start charging, just hold right. Just hold, or sorry, not hold right. Hold R1 and the direction you want to go into. So I do it to the right. I can do it to the left because it's the same thing, really, and show you what I mean. And that's what you want to do for that first attack. Let's, I want to watch this one more time. So the thing about this boss, and really the only time that you need to really look into the water scroll mechanic as far as the bubbles go, it's kind of a complex mechanic in that, so the way the bubbles work is it's like an ammo system that it can shoot faster than it restores bubbles. But when you first use it, it kind of starts with no bubbles, I think. So you kind of have to wait a few seconds for it to work, I guess. So if you can afford to activate the water scroll early before you plan on attacking, that's a good thing, because then you can allow the water scroll to fill up on ammo during a time where you don't need to be shooting bubbles at all to get the most damage output you possibly can. So yep, you go to the middle. This is good. Honestly, it's just figuring out the efficiency of how to use your bubbles the best way you can, and it's tricky. It really is. The thing about the bubbles though is they shoot straight and then they shoot upwards. They kind of like float up, so you actually don't need to double jump each time. You can just single jump and they will reach, as long as, so the bubbles will go to max range and then go up. So if you're too close to them and the bubbles go up, then they'll go up right here behind him. So you need to be exactly where you are is actually perfect. And now the goal for single button strats is he dies right there. Okay? You see how you are actually only 2 bits of damage away. So now part of the reason why you especially want him to die there is, hang on, you'll notice right here, if he dies right here, your bubbles would have disappeared at the perfect time. You wouldn't have had to change scrolls, and you could have slashed him immediately without having to change anything. So let me see if I can recreate that. See? So it lines up perfectly. That's what you want for your phase 1. That one I have down and I can demonstrate pretty well. Phase 2 is where it's going to get a little rough. Mainly because we have this AI manip that honestly, there's like so many different ways to do it. It's tricky.
I get really good, honestly.
So now on this attack, if you do it correctly, and it looks like you actually, you got really good RNG, but the fact that that bubble got popped means you lost a lot of your damage output. If you can do it perfectly, you get him to die on that phase. It's kind of insane, but it's really hard to do. Now, when it comes to this snake attack, I don't know what to tell you. I am actually the worst at this snake attack. Zach or Proto can tell you better on how to deal with that. And then this one, you want to jump. Single jump, though. If you double jump, you'll land in his fire. If you don't jump, these blue flames are actually blocking half of your bubbles. So you want to jump to double your damage output. Yeah, so this is like a worst case scenario. You should never see 2 snakes on this. The fact that you almost got it like instantly though after that is pretty decent. Alright, so let's see how a month worth of rust feels like on this phase. Oh, okay, that was really bad RNG. I'm actually, okay, we're good. I'll quickly do phase 1 again, and then I'll save state it. Snake is kind of a preemptive jump before it starts. Dude, Proto, honestly, you're gonna have to help me and Aalaizah on that. We're both terrible at it. I got the first phase down, and the third phase I'm pretty okay at. Oh shit, I was not well lined up, but what can you do? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, good. Alright, let's create a save state right there. So I think the hardest part about phase 2 is easily just the manip. And it all depends on what you do on this attack beforehand. This one right here. Like, what is this right now? Can we talk about this? Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to just fool around a little bit and see if we can figure out these manips. So, if you just stand still, I feel like that's the one where he just floats away, and you don't really want this one. This one. No, okay. Wait. See if I even understand these manips. Honestly, though, that's part of why phase 2 is so tough. Is there's just so many possibilities. Okay, so this is pretty good. Although, actually, no, it's not, because it's still coming towards us. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Yeah, so, because I suck at the snake, I usually get him right here. Oh, that was unlucky. Yeah, right there. I'm not going to spend too much time on phase 2 just because of the fact that I know I am uninformed straight up as far as that goes. So we're going to jump right into phase 3. Let's take a look at yours. Yeah, you'll notice a bunch of those bubbles aren't actually hitting. So what you want to do is as soon as you land on the ground after a jump, you want to jump again, but only single jump. You don't really need the double jump. Okay, good placement right there. Yeah. I like the way you're also lining up between these two lines right here. That is the optimal spot to do it from. Oh, that was weird. Man, this boss just in general does some weird things sometimes. Yeah, so you want to jump through these because half of your bubbles aren't actually hitting him. Ooh, that bit of lag right there. I wonder if that's a PS2 thing. I don't find that I get lag here. But then again, I don't... Yeah, that is kind of odd. Okay, and that's phase 3 for you. And let's see what my phase 3 looks like at this point, because I don't even know. Honestly, I think most of that for you was just losing out on damage. Not really anything other than that. And again, you want to do this slightly early, so that way you have the ammo stored up right away. Oh my god, that was actually pretty good. Damn, put that in a run, dude. Alright, well, let's save state there. And then we can skip forward a little bit. Okay, hang on. So at this point, what do you do? At least you're self-aware of it, yeah. So at that point, instead of going that way, you're gonna want to come this way, just like you did for what was that? After you did Twin Peak, you want to come this way. Oh wait, right, but you have a slightly different routing. You'd still come this way, and then you'd come down this way. And of course, just hug the corner of this building right here. Yep. And right in there. Proto, does this bring you back to the good old days of goggles? Yeah, you can actually just straight up hold right there too, I think. Hang on. Let me see. I think you can. Yeah, dude, honestly, I couldn't believe it. Once you hit that, I was just like, God damn, I'm done for. Yeah, so I think from the watercrest, you literally just hold directly right. And I think you'll land right on the treasure chest. I only know that because of 100% runs. Yeah. And it's right there. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, am I lined up? You just hold straight right.
Who's being so loud outside?
And then as far as like getting to that hopper, I don't think you actually need the extra elevation. I think you could just go over here. Yeah. To do it. So you don't have to worry about getting on top of the middle part or anything like that.
I know, right?
And so actually at this point where you zoomed out, you actually want to stay zoomed in here. And the reason why, hang on, I'm gonna put a save state here, is if you're zoomed out, watch this. He spawns, right? If I'm zoomed in, you can actually despawn the one on the left. Your zoom ratio actually determines, oh, or not. You know what? Maybe I'm learning new things myself actually, but it's actually distance, I guess. So stay to the right here, and you'll actually despawn the other guy until you get close enough. But at that point, you're already past him because he can give you trouble. I thought it was zoom based though. I guess I'm wrong. I'm learning things as we go as well.
I've got 3 hours to get my skip. Slug skip, let's do it.
Alright, good old slug skip. How long does this take? I feel like this was the run where you had some trouble with it. I think you were like forced to sleep till morning or something, right? There you go. Second try, not bad actually. Okay. So why don't we, even though I said I wasn't gonna look at glitches that much, why don't we look at Slug Escape just a little bit so we could just talk about it real quick. Hello? Come on. Okay, stay right here. So the positioning, as far as I know, actually isn't that important. You can literally, so the guide I've noticed says be like right here, right? And that's actually probably the most forgiving spot, in all honesty. But you really don't have to be. You could be in a lot of places, actually. I think you can actually even be over here. But that one's also a little bit trickier, since you can't see the ground. Yeah, and I wonder if we can do this. Actually, it seems like this one just has something that'll push you out. Unless maybe I just have to go down and left. Like this. Yeah, you can actually do it from down and left too. And I think you can kind of do it from the middle too, right? I might be wrong. No, there's something in the way. But anyways, yeah. So you don't have to focus too much on the positioning. What you need to focus on is holding X for longer on the first jump. Like that. I'll do it one more time. Let's see how this fight goes. One sec.
And it's Monday that Connors is.
Yo, what's up, Thermal Drill?
So I'm still okay time-wise.
How you doing? Let's fast forward a little bit. Just in time for the fire scroll, that's right. We're doing a little bit of PB analysis today.
Okay.
So you actually get really lucky here. He doesn't force you off the wall until much later on. Yeah, I mean, I think you have the general idea of what you need to do for this fight, though. But I feel like it'd be a good idea to just look at it a little bit deeper. So let's do that real quick. Put a safe state right here. Or here. This is like the longest text ever. So this first one, there's nothing you can do about it. Obviously you don't want the 3 birds, but if it's the 3 birds, there's nothing you can do about it. You'll notice when I have him pinned against this wall like this, he actually doesn't like it and will be more likely to use... Hang on, I gotta figure this shit out, man. It seems like it, at least. Honestly, this might actually not be a terrible strat. Yeah, see? There's the 3 birds, and then he forces you away from the wall. At some point, he's gonna do that. But yeah, just as a heads up, so if you're too close to him, he's not gonna attack. He'll do this. He'll swing at you like that. And he'll do it over and over until you get away from him. And you can actually slowly push him into corners this way, but eventually he's gonna jump. And you can actually counter hit, but it won't do any damage. But man, what a world we would live in if we could just go... Oh wait, hang on. I'm curious actually. What if we just push him into the wall though? Yeah, 530 HP Pog, I know. I'm just curious, I wanna see... Oh come on dude, don't be like that. Yeah, I think he just really doesn't want to be pushed into a wall. It's part of the problem. Yeah, unfortunately, he has no iframes unless he uses one of his other attacks. So you could just sit here all day and just never hit him. Yeah, we just have that much HP just so that way we can demonstrate without dying or anything. Alright, now let's see how your princess helps you out here. What if you go to the wall and have him jump to you? Well, he only jumps away if you're too close to him. If he doesn't, he'll just use ranged attacks.
I know. This run is being like insane. I did do some practicing. I meant to do it on stream, and then I was just kind of like doing it.
Yeah, so I feel like everyone does this differently, and nobody knows how to do it perfectly every time. So there's really not much to say. You kind of do a similar strat to what I do. I could show you what Proto and Zach do. I don't know if I'll do it correctly, but here's what they do. Come on, princess, let's go. They do something along the lines of they go to this corner first and then they go up to bring Princess over. I'm not really sure why or how that works, but I mean, they seem to have some luck with it. I just tend to do it till it works. Like, you gotta find the right angle and then you just do it. But what's important to note, so if you do a full double jump, hang on. Like this, right? This is what, it's the double jump that actually makes the princess jump to you. If you just do normal jumps, she'll stay this distance to you. It's the double jump that's actually forcing her to come to you and move you. But for some reason, hang on. It's also your height that has to do with it. So if you do a full double jump, like this, she doesn't always come to you. But if you do a quicker one, I find she's more likely to come and be more aggressive with you too. Like, check it. Like, that's a full double jump. And she like just barely comes, right? But if I double jump like that, she moves like to the other half of me. So I tend to make my double jumps kind of on the shorter side for this and not full double jumps, even though you'd think you'd want full double jumps since you're trying to get over this wall. But yeah, no. Because I don't actually know if you're going over the wall or if you're phasing through the wall, honestly. I always wonder if you could do it on this side too. I don't know if we've ever actually proven or disproven that you can do it on this side. But I find it kind of interesting that we do it on the opposite side when this is the side that we enter from. I find that kind of odd, you know? I don't think you can do it from the side. At least not with a whole bunch of work. Let's go back to the side. But yeah, I think the angle has to do with it too. Let's save state it there.
Hey, geezer!
There we go. Thank you. That was a slow, reverse slow skip. The thickness that saves lives, indeed. After she gets kidnapped, like, is it twice or is it 3 times? I think it's only twice. I guess kind of 3 times, because she gets kidnapped by Kojiro when she's trying to, like, have Kojiro help her save herself. I'm gonna count it as 3.
I'm trying to debate, actually. I think I may have this be where we take our break. I want to do this in 2 parts because 2.5 hours for this run. It's a long run. And as you see, we're only an hour in and we've actually spent 3 hours worth of talking about all this stuff. So I'm going to assume that we still have another 3 hours to go of analyzing this run. So I think right now is actually a good stopping point. And then the next time we work on this, which I think I might just do next Tuesday, I might make this my normal Tuesday thing or something. Because I also do want to do this with Zach, except he's going to teach me. I think that'd be a lot of fun too. But anyways, I think this is where we're going to cut it for now. I'm going to make sure we have a save state. I believe I just made that though.
I did it!
Let's make sure we got it. Okay, we're good. Whew. Thank you for the love, Stroud. I love you too, buddy. Let's go look for someone to raid, though. Here we go. Who is on right now? What do we say? Wait, SpongeBob SquarePants Rehydrated? Is Rehydrated already out? When did Rehydrate come out? Did it like just come out?
Okay.
I see someone playing it right now. That's why I say that.
Okay. Sure.
Let's go raid Groovy back. Since he raided us yesterday. Anyways, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be working on Spyro again. And thank you for hanging out.